Welcome to the Presbyterian Church of Ghana, Christ the King Congregation, Sebrepor District podcast. Now, the Word of God.
Kachiru ni asa nyamia kaya wai. Kachiru ni se nyumwe kaibo. Ne wo paya foe. Amen. If you are the student, I say I'll continue your march. There are a series of lessons, and then you share tithing, commitment and tithe. And I'm going to show you something in the Bible. And then Obehu says, when you are tithe, Obehu aboroa udi. So tithe and commitment. Can you project the so tithing and commitment? But maybe a friend of Brian Cluth. I say, no church ever has a money problem. I sorry be a new one. Oh, we asked for an baby as Sikahiano. There's no church. Only a faithfulness problem. Bien Hawan is there. No quaridia as a for mindy. Anything I can say. Debi I make say. The men why yet to one I didn't away. Anka ye giant tight bank have a soon here. And have a soon here. So the problem of the church is not money. Sikadi obi pao. Can you imagine say, young I see you na a client's cab when we say, Christ the King there. Ebe here yenda. There be there. But because ye did no quarantine, that's why we have. Number 2. Yembebre, Papa de or American to watch it, John D. Rockefeller, an industrialist. Rockefeller. Are you Christian? In your kind. Yen nanim so owo sika pa yinim pa yen bebre nim. I say I never would have been able to tithe the first $1 million. $1 million so. Ebia na onyame shira wa wote ha. Sika ojibusu me bia 10,000 Ghana cedis. Rockefeller said, I wouldn't have been able to tithe my first $1 million I ever made. Can you go back? I don't want the sermon. I want what you have projected. Thank you. Ever made if I had not tithed my first salary, which was $1.50, 50 cents or whatever you call it. And just see per week. And just see, bro, if you are so easy, Jumano, Nana, what Chibiano, Omuchiano, $1.5. And if you say, oh, tight. And see, bro, on your Mishra, no, on your first $1 million. Mamma, your master, say $1 million, 10% ever. And what time Ninara at the mouth on Yankopon said, if you say no, if you say, 8 years. And one thing that's all your wolf now, Hannah said, "But our J wire, if you say, and say, me mausika to your tight." And to be doing penny for sorry, and ya ding emano. But ya of one chile yentino. I had ding said 2001, yet your cabo so mediano over to 10%. And so I was able to pay my first $1 million which year tight. Number 3. Charles Spurgeon. Also, Even if I give the whole of my wealth to him, say me the major padie nyina me wo nyinara ema onyankopon a, he will find a way to give back to me much more than I give. And the assuming say I have 100,000 in my account. Say me nyinara ema onyankopon a, God has a way of giving to me much more. Think about these sayings. Jensak, Ngofua, Omayebi, I'm on Yakupon, I am around. My final one. The fourth one. William Attaward say, giving is more than a responsibility. Say, oh, my Yankopon. And yes, if say yes, and sana, whatever type, no for the Baba. No, it's more than that. I say, it is a privilege, and that's why I love. It's a privilege. And ya kwenja. Say, oh, nyamia obo sonia sasi obo meno. Me fami sika say me de breo Yankopon. I say, ya kwenja. It's a privilege. It's a privilege that I'll take my money and give my money to God. That is a privilege. I say more than an act of obedience. Say, hey, if say me asutie, na me tu 10%, na me de ba, na me de ma forever. I say it is the evidence of your faith. And you know, Pacha say. So what he had a pain, that's a wound to your tithe, that's a woman for real. And say, Yankupon now was some no, who need GDA ever nemo, and not a wound to your tithe, no, but our GDA dear, and cover to your tithe. Because I only has said, Eno, Eja, oh, GD when the Mimwana. Oh, Sanamami, below Hami. Only GDA into your own tithe, no, Manka say, oh. Amen. So listen to all that they have said. If somebody is able to tithe $1 million and you are not able to tithe your 3,000 Ghana cedis. Amen. Kasi amen. Kasi amen. I want to do a revival. I've told Mom about November. I've told you, said, the great revival of Faith Presby, Medina. Many 1 week, when I got home, and then I go back to them and say, if in Neko, you are going to pay 20% of tithe to me. And I'm here. So any money I get, any envelope, anywhere I go, any money I get, you are 20%. Then one day I went to pray at Danfa. After the waiting, I stood there and I told God, say, if in Neko, I'm going to pay 50% of every money I receive. It's not easy. But that is what I told God. So since then, so many years back, any money I receive, any money anybody gives me, any money I receive, 50% ayo nyankopon there. That is why I pay tithe. So since I came here from September, October, November, December, and January, all the tithe I have paid now is 50%. Because that is the covenant I have entered with God. 50%. Any money I receive, any money anybody gives me, whether it's brown envelope or white envelope, any money I receive, including my tithe. And the money Christ the King pays me, 50% is for God. Your 10%, are you able to pay it? I'm going to show you something before I continue. Papa Dakabra. Papa Dakwa is going to act. Can you, Stephen, can you read for me? Hebrews chapter 7. Papa Dakwa is going to be Abraham. Abraham. I'll show you something. Yeah. YF members should come. And then 2 YPG members should come. I'm going to show you something. I'm just building a foundation for you to understand something. So Abraham ni, YPG ba yo ba me berma. I mean sure what. Me am secretary ba ko pe. Come. I got the next person. I want to show you something. No, go and stand here. I'll show you something. Can say amen. Oh, can amen him. Can amen. I want to show you something. Genesis 14, 17 to 20. So Abraham ni, Isaac ni, Jacob any. I got the last one. Session 4. Some teach you amu. Is a mobile. I'm a much. It's a mobile for no more. Because you won't see what I my name. And the morning I'm but saying I'm a session 4 in I'm sorry to about on Amambra. Stephen, come and read for me. So that if you are a parent, that's the wound tighter, you will see the harm you are causing to your family. And if you are a young person, our hands were, you must learn and begin to do it. Stephen, let's go.
Genesis 14.
From 17 to 20.
Genesis 14, 17 to 20. After Abraham returned from defeating Kedoloma, and the kings allied with him, and the king of Sodom came out to meet him in the valley of Shaveh, that is the king's valley. Then Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought out bread and wine. He was priest of God Most High, and he blessed Abraham, saying, Blessed be Abraham by God Most High, creator of heaven and earth, and praise be to God Most High, who delivered your enemies into your hand. Amen.
Continue.
Then Abraham gave him a tenth of everything.
So Abraham paid a tithe. So you go to Hebrews 7, 1 to 10. So Papa Abraham ni. And Abraham share Melchizedek, the Bible say oni mame, oni papa, oni obiara. And Abraham share tithe man. Now listen to what Paul will say in Hebrews.
Hebrews 7, 1 to
And may the Lord say somewhat Jenny, that you begin to be faithful to pay your tithe. Faithfully pay your tithe. And I'll soon come and give you an example of Papa Noah. Oh yeah, Quaker oats, you know. I'll tell you his testimony about tithing. So go ahead.
Hebrews chapter 7, reading from the verse 1. This Melchizedek was king of Salem and priest of God Most High. He met Abraham returning from the defeat of the kings and blessed him. And Abraham gave him a tenth of everything. First, the name Melchizedek means king of righteousness. Then also king of Salem means king of peace. Without father or mother, without genealogy, without beginning of the days or end of life, resembling the Son of God, he remains a priest forever. Just think how great he was. Even the patriarch Abraham gave him a tenth of the plunder. Now the law requires the descendants of Levi who become priests.
So the descendants of Levi, you go on. So Abraham, and Abraham wo Isaac, and Isaac ebe wo Jacob, and Jacob wo 12 Levi ekaho. Understand it well. I'm going again. Abraham ni, and Abraham ebo Isaac, and Isaac ebe Jacob and what Esau, and Jacob nino owo 12 Levi kaho. Paul beka. So that from today you are no longer going to joke with the way you pay your tithe. You are going to pay your tithe faithfully for the sake of the future generation. Can say amen. In Crawford, social media, so now what can't you say, I saw for no at the end time, and a tithe in a tremor, and so we must not pay tithe. But those people who are saying the same things, and you see, can sebio, and they sponsor in Kwasianema. And then the simple come and tell you, say, don't pay tithe to the church, because the church is eating your money. So Abraham, our Isaac, our Jacob, our Levi. Continue for verse 5.
Likewise, the descendants of Levi who become priests to collect a tenth from the people.
So we are the Levite. Asoreno is the Levite to collect the tithe from all of you, including myself.
That is from their fellow Israelites, even though they also are descended from Abraham. This man, however, did not trace his descent from Levi, yet he collected a tenth from Abraham and blessed him who had the promises. And without doubt, the lesser is blessed by the greater.
So you see, so you are the inferior. I am the lesser. And so when I pay my tithe, the tithe I paid last week, or last 2 weeks, God received that tithe and blesses me. And I'll soon show you something. Why your tithe, you must not joke with it. That's the amen. Hey, it doesn't matter how much it will. And so I am so touched when we go to give invalid communion. Let me show invalid, and they will give us money to come and pay for them in the church. And now cover will not pay your tithe. And the person at home or no invalid that on your juma gives us money to pay tithe. And I won't see our tithe. No human mobile. Verse 8.
In the one case, the tenth is collected by the people who die, but in the other case, by him who is declared to be living. One might even say that Levi, who collects the tenth, paid the tenth through Abraham.
That's what, repeat it again. Abraham, 1 generation, 2 generations, 3 and 4. And the Bible said, Abraham, who gave the tithe to Melchizedek, paid the tithe for Levi. Abraham, who paid the tithe to Levi, the Bible says, tithe is not Abraham, it's Emma Melchizedek, tithe, Emma Isaac, Emma Jacob, and Emma Levi, the 4th generation. And so when Papa pays his tithe, so when the blessings is coming now, and then an account swallow about one. So if you don't pay tithe, you deny all these ones. Go here, you deny them your blessings. So me Papa Quaye we or shall la emusie no ebia na when you tithe mami o tua tithe papa no kware a anke bia me nshira doso sende. So if you don't pay your tithe, say Papa Kokwa ain't any tithe. What deny ne ba way out? Oya Isaac no what deny no. What deny way oya Jacob no and what deny na counsel. So Abraham paid the tithe. Otua in that day no Otua Emma Levi, who is the 4th generation. And then you joke with your tithe. What do you tithe? Diagro. What do you tithe? Diagro. But I will my here in Shirano. Now the old tithe and no jot, or the no beer. I will my here in Shira. No, make me call when Nimon Temono now what's her. I will my buy here in Shirano. Now the tithe no a man crop for and the Yania man say what a year. Now will ban on Shirano and man. But Abraham paid the tithe for the 4th generation. Kasi amen.
Amen.
Kasi amen. Kasi amen. Kasi radie. Yatse wonne. Kasi radie. For you to understand it, read the verse 10.
Because when Melchizedek met Abraham, Levi was still in the body of his
That's
ancestor.
yeah. Another version will say that Levi was in his loins. Now, the sperms now will come out to fertilize the egg, not Levi shemo. Until Levites are not our fourth generation. The Bible says, not Levi, as Abraham sisimu. Levi she Abraham sisimu. Now I'm buying. So if you are here, now we won't buy it. Obano shows sisimu no, and should biara babiara no, eka obanibi. And the Bible says Levite was in the body or was in the waist of Abraham. Brother Abraham, so Isaac, Jacob, Levite, Levite, no, Abraham, in the fourth generation, he came and received the blessings. And you are here, you don't want to pay your tithe. And denying your children and your grandchildren and your great-grandchildren their blessings. Because tithe just 100 cedis, you are denying a generational blessings unto your children. And then you will go and cry to God. If you will stop and be faithful, you won't cry again. That door will be open for you and you will understand. Say, yay, me tithe to you, rather kai me tithe to you, kai me tithe to you. Now Abraham enimu say tithe na ochiano manem ba the fourth generation, but he gave it out to Melchizedek. And the Bible might said, now in the waist of Abraham was the fourth generation Levite who became a priest that must collect the tithe. Or not showing the anymore. And tithe now all the man and Shirano continued. It never stopped. Today, may someone learn. Say if you not I've changed my mind. I'm going to be faithful to you for the sake of my children, for the sake of my grandchildren, for the sake of my family. I will not eat that money, that 1,000 cities, that 200, that 50 cities, that 20 cities. I'll be faithful to you. So my children, my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren will be blessed. So the Lord, your blessings will always remain in my family. Christ the King for we who are the royals. The YPG members, they have members. I can tell you on authority said, the little money you are not able to tithe now, when you become that CEO and they begin to pay you 200,000 a month, you can never pay tithe. And then you say, oh, Mr. Kanisa, as I go on, I'm just going to admit to you, you are lying. You are deceiving yourself. That is why Rockefeller said, if I've not tithed the $1.5 I receive per week, I couldn't have tithed my first $1 million. Ask yourself, how faithful are you? Look into your tithe book. Yeah, trust here. I'm a Happy New Year. 2024, I will tithe. Were you able to complete the 12 months? And you are denying all. One thing I say, let me share one thing. You are denying all your children blessings. And Abraham Nkwa, Baba Menko, Abraham Nkwa say, all the time in Shirafiano. Never finish. And then you, the parents here, will tell me, say, hey, me moboa. Odowanga. And kabe tuya what tight. Na won shira no asane go won so. Won do won ti and I won't tuya what tight. So stop deceiving yourself. Say me won no one. And I can tell you, Abraham, can I say? Since I started paying tithe of 20%, as you see, I will do 50%. I don't know when next God will tell me to pay. the Lord always make a way for me and my family. Always make a way for me and my family. Kasi amen. Kasi amen. Ka amen. Ka amen. So begin to pay your tithe. And pay your tithe well. Didn't kware ma ho. Didn't kware ma ho. Didn't kware ma ho. If your tithe is 20%, if it's 10%, and I owe 1,500, I 150. Now they are back. Sorry, no, and then God will bless you. 3,000. Now bet you 300. Now they are about 5,000. 500. Now they are about say 10,000. Now they are about no quarry. Now will be deep. I tell people who work in the market, if I want to me who amount a babo sumi biala, tell God to send me who to me who mean for so and Yamimi no kwa pam say busumi biara. I am going to give you 20 cities. Yamini mu say on no pam say because who knew the way I want to know busumi biara and those na me tono nyame 20 cities. Eye wodia. Tithe. Retire to the agro. Retire to the agro. If you see who's there, there is no man or woman who is a possessor. All the money in your bank account, whatever you have, all the cars, your beautiful houses are missing, all belongs to God. You are only a steward. You are only a steward. And so never deceive yourself. Say, me de mea mahwading, and a mea made me bre. Oh yes, it's true. It's true. Who do I want and I will bre, and I may see me dying. And so the way I want to use my money, I'll use my money. Now when you're Christian, Papa. Every true believer who is a true Christian, I will name say, including the money in my bank account that belongs to God. So when that God calls me, now say bring the money, I must be able to bring the money. The Lord gives. One day God told me to go and give money. The person called me. I didn't want to give the money. I went to the ATM, and I'm here at ATM, and when I scan it by, God said, He says, "Sikan money pani peno, and ye no ni, you need to money pano." I stood there for some time, and I put the ATM back, card in the back, and I just scan it by, and I'm going to come money pano. Less than 1 week, I met a lady. No, so your mama said, "Oh, watch it," and to me for envelope, and let the woman gave me an envelope. The envelope the money woman gave me, me, I gave the person CDs, but the envelope was dollars. I challenge you. Say, if you are going, I'll continue this teaching. If you are going to be faithful to God in payment of your tithe, the Lord will open doors for you. You have no idea. I've not even read Malachi 3 to you. I've not even read that one to you. You are here. You are working. You're having contract. To me call and out to me back. To me general nine so. And yeah, Juma. Na dubu so me noa. Na betuya tighter. There are some of you. Every year, pia to pay so. But title of you as it 10 years ago, the same tithe. On two tithe. So that every true Christian. When they increase your pay and increase your allowances, you increase your tithe. Kasi amen. Kasi amen. Kasi amen. Kasi radie huye mobo. Kasi radie huye mobo. Kasi radie huye mobo. You see, I'll say two things and I'll end. Anything that belongs to God that you keep becomes a curse to you. I repeat. Bibiara ayo nyamede. One farm mano now be keep becomes a curse to you. And the end of month be able to keep it tight tight now keep it ever no me emao. And the Bible can. Any month be able to your tight no me emao.
Thank you for listening, and we know your life has been blessed. We come your way with powerful messages, and we want you to subscribe to our channel so that you will receive the notifications when they arrive. Be blessed. And Nami Asumdu.